If you've got some sleep problems and maybe you don't feel like your problems are quite big enough to warrant going to an MD, you might take a look at some supplements to help you catch those Z's. Last year, the world spent around $7 billion on over-the-counter sleep aids, and I'm going to be honest, most of them are a mixed bag. Some may work for you, others don't really work for anyone, and the rest are pretty variable in that they may or may not work like you're hoping they will. I'm not going to lie, lifestyle changes are often the most effective ways to improve your sleep. They're often not the most fun, and they're certainly not as easy as swallowing a supplement, but they are effective. That being said, however, this time around we're going to explore some major types of over-the-counter sleep remedies and supplements. So go get your 7 billion and let's get ready to go. Most importantly, before you take anything that claims to affect your sleep, you should definitely reach out to your primary care provider. If you don't want to go in for a full visit or appointment, fine, maybe just shoot them a message, give their office a call, whatever. But check with your provider, especially if you're already taking a prescription medication or have any pre-existing conditions. A lot of herbal remedies in particular, and a lot of over-the-counter sleep aids don't play nice in the sandbox with other supplements and pharmaceuticals. And that's not just a disclaimer on my part, I mean it. You're not taking good care of yourself if you're not well informed. And while social media can be a fine place to start learning, it should never be the end. Always check your thinking and your choices with a licensed medical doctor instead of using your body as a chemistry experiment. Also, and this is a big one, maybe your most important takeaway from this video, there are no over-the-counter sleep aids that are really safe for long-term use. I've been at this for years and I have yet to find any truly long-term studies to illustrate safety for years of use. And on that note, it's not super easy to find a tremendous amount of short-term studies on a lot of the products that are out on the market either. It's more possible to find research on some of the ingredients in the products, but because regulation on a lot of this stuff is pretty loose, and a lot of product studies are proprietary and locked away in corporate vaults somewhere, a lot of information on efficacy, quality, and side effects is just not available, and that's not great. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to discourage you from trying something that might help you sleep. Far from it. If something doesn't cause you any harm and it works for you, then it works for you. But I also don't like peddling information that isn't true, helpful, and isn't kind to you. The truth of the matter is that you may find some over-the-counter remedies help get you over the hump while you're making other changes in your life that can ensure lasting solutions for your sleep. And some of these remedies can be helpful short-term measures to resolve less acute sleep issues. Always, if you find that you have long-term sleep struggles, though, you really need to reach out to your doctor. So all that being said, if you're really looking to try some over-the-counter sleep remedies, let's take a look at your options. This is not going to be a review of every product on the market, clearly, but I am going to cover 4 main groups of over-the-counter sleep remedies and aids and supplements that are available on the market, at least as of the date of this video. First up, antihistamines. Think things like NyQuil, Benadryl, Unisom, and no, none of these brands or others are paying me to mention them. Antihistamines are a class of drugs, many of which are available over the counter, that are often used to treat seasonal allergies. Sometimes you can find them in cold medicines as well, and there are brands who market antihistamines as sleep aids. That being said, let's take a look at their opposite, histamines. They're naturally occurring chemical communicators in our bodies. They affect a lot of things. They serve as an immune function. They affect sleep-wake cycles. They help with blood flow, and thus they can also keep you awake. Taking an antihistamine interrupts all that and will thus put a lot of folks out to sleep. But they can also leave you drowsy the next day, give you dry mouth, constipation, blurred vision, and make your brain foggy and interfere with a bunch of medications. So there's that. Second, melatonin. It's a hormone, and your body makes it on its own in response to the setting of the sun. Nighttime is your body's cue to start making melatonin, literally to help you sleep, and daylight is your body's cue to get rid of it and metabolize it away. You can buy synthetic versions as sleep aids. Not all formulations are created equal, and timing is everything. Your body, age, metabolism, and the formulation of the melatonin supplement informs the most effective timing for you. And despite what the supplement bottle may say, the average adult really only needs to take around 2 milligrams of it to feel the effects. It's also important to note that melatonin helps put you to sleep. It's not necessarily great at keeping you asleep. Because of this, many over-the-counter melatonin supplements are slow release, so it can put you to sleep and then essentially keep putting you to sleep throughout the night. That, however, can leave some folks pretty groggy the next day. There is one area, however, in which melatonin rules the roost, and that's long-distance travel. Because melatonin is very effective if you've been traveling and jet lag has got your internal clock all messed up. Because it is an integral hormone to the sleep-wake cycles of your circadian rhythm, it can absolutely help you acclimate to new time zones easier than just going it alone. Third, all the herbal stuff. There's a lot of products on the shelf when it comes to herbal sleep aids, and most of them, things like valerian, chamomile, and others, are generally not regulated, which means that what is in them is actually anybody's game. The same should be said for potency. If what you are taking is made from the root of a plant, well, not every root grows the same way, and not every plant will have the exact same nutrients in the exact same amounts. Which is to say that what you actually end up taking may vary from pill to pill or from bottle to bottle, and there's no real way of knowing until you experience the effects of taking it. Also, the effectiveness of herbal remedies can vary from person to person, and scientific evidence supporting their use, especially for sleep, is often limited or mixed. Again, if you take something and it works for you, then it works for you. But when it comes to any kind of herbal sleep aid, my biggest concern is quality and purity. If you do want to try them, however, look for products that are tested by an unbiased, outside lab or third party. Look for products made in the European Union or in Canada, as those areas tend to have the strictest and highest standards. And if it's possible, look for verifiable labels that note the product as organic. Last but not least, magnesium. Your body needs magnesium to do a lot of things. It helps regulate blood sugar, blood pressure. It helps make DNA, bone, and proteins. And it also assists in around 55 other things that your body really needs to function. Some of the things that magnesium does relates to muscle relaxation and some nerve function, both of which contribute to sleep. Interestingly, if you were paying attention a few minutes ago and you recall me talking about histamines, you might also recall that they play a role in blood flow and blood pressure too. So not only should this be a big tip-off about the complex interrelated nature of our health and what we put into our bodies, but also, if you're thinking about trying out either magnesium supplements or an antihistamine-based sleep aid, you should definitely make sure that you read up, get informed, reach out to your doctor, because these two interact in ways that probably are not what you're looking for. Now, back to magnesium. You can get magnesium by eating foods that are rich in it. Soy, a lot of seeds, beans, whole grains, bananas, and many kinds of nuts, all of which can make pretty decent little bedtime snacks. And personally, I'm a big fan of getting what you're looking for, getting what you needed through foods. But this video is not about diet. It's about supplements and over-the-counter sleep remedies. So there are several different forms of magnesium supplementation, and you can get it in pills, capsules, drinks, and even powders that you then mix into a little bit of a drink. Each has its own benefits and drawbacks in terms of bioavailability, absorption, and efficacy. There are also many, like a dozen or more, different kinds of magnesium that you can buy as supplements, and each has its own preferred uses. One of the most popular for sleep is called magnesium glycinate. It's known to be fairly gentle on your stomach, well absorbed, and has calming properties. Some folks even take it to relieve anxiety, although evidence for that is pretty mixed. Regardless of which form you take, be sure that you are well informed. Some types of magnesium are better tolerated than others, and at least one is actually used as a laxative, which will definitely not let you sleep. Regardless, magnesium has been shown to help with relaxation and sleep overall, and can also have some side effects, as they all do. For some, magnesium can cause irregular heartbeat, low blood pressure, muscle weakness, lethargy, diarrhea, dyspnea, shortness of breath, and more. There are clearly side effects to just about anything you can take. And as I said before, many supplements and over-the-counter remedies interact and interfere with other supplements and medications. That being said, however, many over-the-counter sleep aids can be very effective for short-term use for a lot of folks. So much so that for each type of remedy we covered, there are devotees who will swear by what they take. There are no over-the-counter remedies, however, that are safe to take long-term. Said it before, it's worth repeating. But honestly, if it works for you, then it works for you. One last thing. I covered 4 major types of over-the-counter sleep aids in this video. And although those 4 types encompass the majority of the products that you'll find on the shelves of your local store, there are certainly others as well. Regardless of the choices you make before you try anything, please be sure to consult your doctor. You're a person, not a chemistry set, and you should always know about what you're taking. Be mindful and informed about the choices you make, especially with your body and your health. Follow me, keep an eye out for more videos about this, about wellness, growth, healing, and really how to elevate your life. Thanks so much for watching, really. Be well and sweet dreams.